Hi, I'm Sean, co-founder of Pippa, and today we're going to be walking through the Pippa tutorial together. The goal of the Pippa tutorial is to help you create your first project. It only takes a few clicks, it won't cost you any tokens, and by the end, you should have a brief walkthrough on exactly how to use our tool for your very own creations. You get started by clicking on the Pippa tutorial logo. This will be under your For Fun row, and you'll notice that there's also an X on the top left of the box. So if you don't want to take the tutorial, or if you've already done it once and don't want to see it again, you can simply exit out. I'll cancel it to show you how to bring it back. Once you've canceled it, if you want to bring it back, you only need to click on the question mark in the top right and say Show Tutorial Videos, Show Getting Started, Help and Guides. You can simply click and restore all tips and tours. And that's going to bring the tutorial back. I'm going to click on the Pippa tutorial to get us started. You're going to get a little overlay here just welcoming you to Pippa. I'll click on Start the Tutorial, and it's going to walk you through every step. First, it's telling me to call the story Pip and the Glowing Acorn. Next, it's going to show me that you can pick from 3 different aspect ratios. It's going to ask me to stick with 9:16. It's sticking with cinematic charm as the art style, but normally you can click on this to change the art style to anything you want. Then it's going to walk you through the quality tier. Under the Tell a Story flow, we have economy and standard. Under story format, you can use story-driven or narration. This is going to use story-driven, where we actually have the characters with their own dialogue and a lot of dynamic action, versus narration, which reads a lot more like a single voice in your head, as if someone was reading a storybook. And finally, we're going to write this one with Pippa. With a click, it brings you to the Write with Pippa screen. First, it asks you for the cast. Just simply type in Pip, a curious little fox. It actually won't let you type anything different on the tutorial. Then I'll type in for the plot, Pip finds a glowing acorn, and we will generate the story. Once the story's been generated, you can review. Here is where on a normal story, you could edit it any way you want and click Regenerate Story. But for now, we're simply going to click Continue to go to the next screen. The next screen is the Project Assets flow. And first, you get to choose your narrator. The narrator has a voice that is used throughout the story, and it acts as a consistent voice or an anchor throughout the whole story. Now, the tutorial has pre-selected Nova, but on your own projects, you can select any voice you want. Select Got It to continue, and then it's going to show you the character card. Now, everything you need to know about the character card, it gets explained step by step. First, the description, where you would type in whatever you want about the character. This one simply says a fox. Then the photo area, where you can upload a photo on the left to use it to help you generate an image, or you can upload a photo on the right under Used in Project and actually use that photo in the project directly without needing to generate a new reference. I'll click Got It. Then it shows you that you can click between characters, scenes, and objects. Now, the tutorial only has one character, the fox. But in other projects, Pippa may detect scenes or objects that it wants to generate so that they can stay consistent in the story. And you can see all of that on our Build a Story video that we have here in our Learn Guide. I'll click Got It to continue. The next step, it's going to ask me to generate the character. And there's Pip, a small little fox ready to go. Once the characters are done, you simply click Continue to go to the next step. Now on this page, you generally decide how you want to proceed to the storyboard. You can either go to the storyboard without images, you can generate the first images, or you can animate the whole thing from the start. In the tutorial, we generate images, and that's actually what we recommend for all of your flows. I'll click Got It and then generate the images, and in a few moments, we'll be on the storyboard. And you can see in the background that our wizard is running, detecting the story, and generating all the images. It's next going to bring you to the storyboard. The storyboard is where you can see all of the shots of your story in order. It starts with the storyboard title at the top and then shows you a card. The shot card contains everything you need for that specific scene. Who's in it, what they're doing, and all the tools to change. You can use the first row to draw a new image, to animate it into a video, or to use our director mode or prompt doctor for advanced settings. You get to see a preview of the image, And then you have our AI editing tools, where you can do AI edit and adjust an image for the specific things you want. AI paint, where you can paint on an image to make very specific changes. You can change the camera angle, and you can add objects to any shot. Then you get a brief description of what that shot's trying to accomplish, the focal points, or the characters and objects that will be in the project, and then the Director tab, which we won't go into on the tutorial, but allows you to go very deep into new options for changing your shot. I'll click Got It to continue and move to the Composer. Now, if the Storyboard is where you got all of your images correct, the Composer is where you create your animation and all of the final effects that you need for a finished video. At the top, you can see the title. In the center, you can see the frames. And on the bottom, you have your timeline in Player, where you can play the video in succession, either as images or videos. At the very bottom, you can redraw any scene or all of them, and you can animate your video. We'll click on the Animate button to see the options that exist. Now, when you choose to animate, Pippa's going to give you 3 options. You can either choose to animate one single shot at a time, you can choose to animate all missing shots, or you can do the entire video at once. We are going to do all of it at once, and we're going to use our Seedance Mini model. Normally, you would have way more options on this screen, but we've simplified it for the tutorial. We'll click to animate all 5, and in a few minutes, we'll get our videos back. And here's our finished video. Now, normally, you would be brought back to the Composer to look at each video independently, but for our tutorial, we've compiled it and put it in a simple player for you to view. Let's watch together and see how it looks.
One morning, Pip the fox found a glowing acorn tucked in the leaves. She followed its shimmer, and the whole forest sparkled awake around her. Fireflies rose from the ferns. A sleepy owl blinked down from a branch. Pip set the acorn in the hollow of an old oak, and the morning arrived all at once.
Okay, that's a great video. I'll click Continue. Now you also have the option to add finishing touches. You can add captions and background music, and much, much more in our detailed Composer. And then finally, you can share. Clicking the share icon will create an exportable file that you can download or create a link to share with others. You also have the opportunity to share it directly to our Pippa channel so other creators can see exactly what you have made. And that's the end of our tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look into the tutorial flow and what's capable with the Pippa platform. For now, I'm Sean, one of the co-founders of Pippa, saying thanks for watching, keep having fun, keep creating, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.